100%, Hutto. Look, he's fantastic, he's durable, but just got to have something up your sleeve other than Hansen and I think Petrie.
Well, you do get the feeling, and they talked a bit about this last week, I think it's played a throw against the big fella, that perhaps Brad Scott will really consider playing Curry in the main season.
In the first game. See, Majak Dor, again, he's not a ruckman, and you think, because I think they like big bodies in grand finals because of the clearance work.
Sure, he spoke with Andrew Swallow last week in the Carlton game. That's exactly what they said. They're desperate to get the 2 ruckmen in.
Hale kicks and kicks well. Kicks very well, and the Hawks start very smartly here at Aurora Stadium.
Kick in there, no, Jono. They had numbers around, like you nearly marked it roughly, but at ground level, North had 6 or 7 players there. Oh, gee, pushing it back by Zeeble here.
It was.
This is where last year, instead of kicking it to the 10-metre square, they actually popped it about 20 metres out from goal.
Which is a better kick if you're not going to kick the distance.
Shields reckons he can kick it with a breeze, and you know what? He can, and he has. And the Hawks have got 2.
Good finish by Shields, Shorey on that occasion.
That's just a hand on the shoulder.
Tiny push in the side to get off the ball. The umpire deemed it was
costly
pushing the back, wasn't it? And it was very costly.
But it says something about Jack Zeebel's mentality in that, even though it was...
Yes, it is almost as if they are defending into the breeze a little bit, isn't it? And trying to suck up some time. But Shields makes use of the moment he got and rams it through. And the Hawks have got 3 very smartly on the board. Hawthorn 3-1-19, North Melbourne 1 behind. You just saw what was going to open up for him.
Oh, that was brilliant, wasn't it?
50 metres. Atley must have thought he played on.
I think he thought it might have been touch, guys. I think that's what they were talking about down here. But, John, are we talking about the intent before the guys coming out of the back line, North Melbourne coming out of the back line? Already clearances 8-3 in favour of Hawthorn, so they haven't.
Hawthorn, and that's, we just saw then the reason for the 50-metre penalty.
Well, Atley thought he went off the line, but the umpire didn't call play on, so you just got to hold your ground.
And Simpkin pops it through, and Hawthorn continue to dominate this match. They do have the breeze.
Here, Hutto, that maybe Hale away from goal. Now, Goldstein's pretty good ruckman, but they've been trying to set this up, get the ball back away. There it is.
And back it goes. Brilliant Shorey to Shields. And he is having quite the first quarter. That is 3 goals from Liam Shields.
And a couple out of stoppages as well. But that's why in the contest, look, if Rufford had made that contest, the ball would have probably spilt out anyway. But twice now, Shields been able to get around the back to a great hit from Hale, and then Sewell's involved back into the lineup tonight. That's why he's class in the stoppages and his contested ball work. And
screwed the kick on instinct more than anything. Hale. North just need to get to quarter time somehow without any more damage being done. Rioli as the Hawks build again. Switch kick is on, but Curry was able to anticipate. Mitchell just thuds it towards the top of the square. Del Santo couldn't quite bundle it up, and Langford brilliantly summed up and puts it through. And again, there was very little support for Nick Del Santo.
We look at Gunston here as well. He's had another good first quarter. He's just clean, isn't he, as well, on the ground, which that's what makes him so hard to match up on. The fact that if a tall goes on him, he's going to work up the ground. He's clean on the deck.
Have a look at this kick here. Now, that is just smart play, because what's happened, you nearly got most one-on-ones here. Good pressure here. Del Santo didn't clean it up. I think it was Nick, was it? But he'd be pretty dirty on that. But just...
Thomas turned the body and then gave it straight back to Bruce. And Burgoyne, O'Brien's giving him another chance.
Well, at senior level, Lindsay Thomas is a senior player, but if you want to fumble...
So O'Brien was picked 28 of the 2012 draft. Let's see if he's learned his lesson from before. He has. He's put it through. And the Hawks have got 7 on the board and lead by 37 points. Look,
just outside 50.
Segler.
Holding the man. Free kick, Hawthorn. Downfield. Can he hold his arm? Please. Yeah, free kick, Hawthorn down here. It's further than 50, so downfield. Yep. That's your line.
So this will just be for 6, I think. Paid downfield. So it's just regulation.
And he's taken the easy option. That isn't, I'll tell you what, that is not a bad decision by the umpire.
We will come back to Moons, but play has gone on and Gunston's taken the mark.
Well, this was shown on the DVD.
But if you do walk it over the line, we have seen decisions made like that over the last couple of years, definitely.
So Jack Gunston holding that ball up in the unique way he does, straight through the middle, no errors there. And the Hawks back out to that 36-point lead, Moons. They look very, very strong this season again, the Hawks. As I mentioned earlier, sure, there's no sign of any sort of hangover whatsoever. And I know it's only early. Rioli pumps it deep for Bruce. Who marks it?
Grab.
He's a good player now, isn't he?
But you look then, and Cyril gets on the end of that ball, but he runs past 3 Kangaroos opponents to actually work into space. So that's where the Kangaroos have just to actually block the path or at least put your head down and go with him.
Luke Bruce, second year in a row last year, kicked 40 goals. It was a little bit of an issue last year after being so good the year before, but put that one through and they lead by 42 points as we get down to Moons once again.
But also when he did take the mark, he was just able to move whichever way he liked.
Footy up for grabs and Langford in the right spot. Been smashed here, the Roos, when it's mattered. And it's been a combination of the old and the new for Hawthorn. Langford now 17 disposals and 3 goals.
And look, he's had a great night because a lot of the time, 3/4 of a game, you've got to get more possession than that. You can go backwards and probably get 5 easy ones. So it's just showing that it's not good enough, and that's not goal side.
Sure, even on the turnovers tonight.
Spotted Thomas, but needed a bounce that favoured him. Hallahan cleared the path for Mitchell. Dainty little kick. Now Suckling can give it plenty. Oh, it was misread deep. McMahon came off Roughhead, and Roughhead just stood there.
Working in the space. It wasn't a pure hit from Suckling.
I think that's what McMahon was anticipating.
He was, definitely, no doubt.
Roughhead kept his eye on the footy and squeezes it through for Hawthorn's 12th goal. They lead by 48 points now. They'll continue to pile them on down here in Aurora.
Well, if you want to see a lack of urgency,
we had last week.
Good tackle.
Hanson is into the heat. Straight away, the umpire blows the whistle, and number 23 for the Hawks will go back and have the seat.
You have a look at the good sides in finals. Normally have 2 ruckmen. Sandlands is a bit different because he's such a dominant figure. But again, they might even need Freo to look, to try and get a second run. They got who was it? Griffin, who we went down, and he was playing football.
Yep.
And Zach
to the wing, Shields, McAvoy. They run forward again. Simpkin summed it up beautifully. Cyril, the arch of the back, takes the mark. Sees Lewis. They are such a good team.
They are.
They are scarily good, aren't they?
The arch of the back.
So Jordan Lewis caresses that one home. The Hawks now lead by 56 points. 14-10, playing 5-8 down here at Aurora Stadium in Launceston. Moons,
Well, there's not to Luke McDonald again. I think is on an individual basis. Look, he's made some mistakes by foot tonight, but he certainly, I think he's held his own again in the senior environment. So.
Roughhead. He might slot this, he has. Just kept on coming. He was trying to be unselfish and share it around. The umpire not paying the mark for the required distance. So he turns 3 goals to Langford and to Shields. 2 goals to Young O'Brien and also to Jared Roughhead.
Good work from Hill as well to win possession against Tippett, and then just the effort, the continual effort from Roughhead sees him hit the scoreboard once again. Going back to your question before, maybe Aaron Black has kicked the 3 goals tonight. He's competed well. He's probably been the main forward that has had some sort of impact. But across the board, on 18 to 19, you're 22, having an even contribution throughout a game. That's what puts you in a position to win. When you've got 6, maybe 8 getting ball, it's never going to work out in your favour.
Hawks have got 6 players who have had more disposals than Nick Del Santo, who's the leading Disposal winner for North.
That's it, John. That's it. He's right on the mark too.
So Jonathan Segler with the mark. He'll go back and have the shot. Did a couple of nice things last week.
15 seconds gone.
So comes in. That's pretty good. Off the boot, another one to Hawthorn. 16 goals, 10, 106. Leading North 6-9-45 now.
Well, he's got a big part to play.
He's screaming for it, his roughhead. In the end, his Suckling's given it up with a handball. And, some uncertainty for once for the Hawks, but they still didn't panic.
Up in, that's it.
Kyle Chaney. Roughhead still calling for it, still being manned up by Del Santo. Comes to the front instead.
Right.
And young Hallahan, he looks all right as well, getting in on the act.
He deserved that goal, Troy. He actually...
Now, Lewis with the escape.
Oh, how good was that?
And the platter for young O'Brien.
Just, you got that centre clearance. You got to wonder where the pressure was coming off the back of the line, the back of the square, to be able to be forward of the ball in the first place. Geez, I've been impressed. Really impressed with Tim O'Brien.
Let's see how he handles himself in front of the goals on this occasion. 2 goals, 1 to his name.
Ooh.
Now 3 goals, 1. Following on from greats wearing that Guernsey like Don Scott, Brereton.
Like Brisbane last year and end up not winning their round 1 game. Carlton in the past.
This is about want. Don't worry about it. We know they've got ability. This is just that they haven't come to play, and physically Hawthorn. But remember, Hawthorn are coming off the premiership in a month's less, preparation.
So the game's over, and North Melbourne going down. Hawthorn winning by 65 points, 18-10, 118 to 7-11, 53. And as much as it's about North being pretty ordinary tonight, it's also about Hawthorn being extraordinarily good.
Well, Liam Shields was sensational tonight. 30 disposals on the night, but it was his first quarter, Hutto, where he had 14 and kicked the 3 goals. So it wasn't a bad start to his game. They got the work into Luke Hodge tonight, coming back for his first game. Sewell back into the lineup, so some senior experience for Hawthorn. And Moons is down at ground level with Liam Shields.
I am down here with Liam Shields, the man who just completely blew him apart in that first quarter, and Liam 3 goals in that first quarter. Took you about 17 games to get 3 last year. Have a great start.
It all kind of just fell my way in the first quarter there. Some good inside work from Sully and Shawnee and the boys in there getting out to me, so I just got pretty lucky. It was on the end of it.
What about the stoppage work? You kicked a couple from the inside 50 stoppages. Was that something you guys talked about, knowing that these guys have been a very good stoppage side over the last 12 months?
Yeah, a little bit. We spoke about it a little bit during the week, especially our forward line stoppages. We wanted to get a few goals, so I think we did that tonight. I'm not sure of the stats, but seeing that we got a few goals from forward 50 stoppages.
Is that a little message to the coach that you don't want any more run with rolls, mate, this year?
Langy's did a pretty good job on Zeeble, so hopefully just get a bit of the footy myself.
And you got a couple of days down here now with community camp?
Going out to 20 different locations, so the boys are split up and spend a bit of time with the community and the kids down here, so it should be good.
And go enjoy yourself, mate. Well done.
Beautiful, thank you.
Liam Shields, he was outstanding tonight.
He was. Mitchell as well. Hill had the 24. Once again, he's grown, I think, as a player. Again, he's had a big summer, and you can see the benefits of that with his running power and breaking the lines. From a Kangaroos point of view, we tried to highlight a few positives throughout. Probably McDonald's probably one, but outside of that, Hardo, not too much to offer for the Kangaroos tonight.
Back to you, Moons.
Yeah, down here, Lukey Hodge, and mate, 2 games in now. You obviously a big win last week. You came up against probably someone that we're all thinking is going to be top 8, top 4. Thought you guys just started the game brilliantly.
Yeah, you're right. I think our attack on the ball to start with, and we were able to capitalise early, which, as you said, once you put some score on the board, it's you can sort of play the way you want to play. But we knew they were going to come back, but I thought we ran the game out quite well.
Enough about this game. I want to talk more about what you guys have done this year compared to going into 09. You had a pretty bad year that year after the premiership. What did you guys talk about? There's a lot of you that were there in 08. So what did you talk about? What have you concentrated on, making sure that this year is more like last year?
Look, it was just 08, 09 was a long time ago. So we pretty much just focused on targets that we set that we come back with last year, tried to better them, and making sure just our fitness, our attitude, and our mindset was right from the first day of pre-season. And I know it's only 2 games in, but I think you can see the attitude of the boys and how hard they want to work is there.
It looks like a very well-ordered machine, mate. Well done.
Thanks, mate.
Well done, Moons.
That's the critical thing, Hutto and Shorey. Leave the ego at the door. That's been their major drive over the last couple of years. Obviously, outside of that, with their contested ball and all those areas, and that fundamentally they need to get right. But that's the biggest one there, and you can see the way they play. They're an unselfish team, and they bring their teammates into the play.
All right, we're off to a break. We're back shortly to wrap things up here from Aurora Stadium.